Hi, are you reading Mahayana Sutras as part of your learning or practice? Have you ever read two or more translations or commentaries from different translators or teachers at the same time? I like to provide some of my thoughts from a few examples during my practice and learning. By the way, I'm just someone interested in Buddhism. As everyone is on their own path, my comments are from my limited knowledge and are unique to my circumstance. But maybe what I present here can be food for thought for some of you. I will talk about my thoughts on reading three different sutras, why we chose the multiple books for each sutra, and my thoughts. This is not a comprehensive comparative discussion. Instead, they're just brief and just my opinion. The three sutras are the Lotus Sutra, the Heart Sutra, and the Platform Sutra. Also note that I read these books along with my fellow Dharma book club friends. In 2019, my friends and I did a book club on the Lotus Sutra. We used the translation published by BTK, by Tsuganari Kubo, and Akira Yuyama. BTK, or Bukkyo Dendo Kyokai, is an amazing Buddhist organization based out of Tokyo, Japan. They translated or are in process of translating the Tripitaka, as well as many other Buddhist texts into English. The Lotus Sutra is a good-sized sutra and has many teachings. When we first read it, I thought, wow, I learned a lot. But after reading many other Buddhist texts, some of us felt that maybe we should revisit the sutra, since we likely didn't absorb that much before. So in 2021, we decided to do another book club and use the translation from Reeves. We chose this book because the reviews commented that the translation is easier to read for Western readers in terms of concepts, mythical creatures, etc. We wanted to make the book club easier for new members as well. But some of us have been reading Buddhist texts for many years, so we, a subset of the group, decided to supplement the main reading with commentaries from a Buddhist teacher. So we selected Thich Nhat Hanh's book titled Opening the Heart of the Cosmos, Insight on the Lotus Sutra. Thich Nhat Hanh is a super well-known Buddhist teacher, and I will go a little bit more into it later. However, for myself, I felt that I wanted to learn more. So I doubled down and added another book from the academic angle. I got the book by Donald Jr. Lopez, Two Buddhists Seated Side by Side, A Guide to the Lotus Sutra. Donald Lopez is a professor of Buddhism at University of Michigan, prolific translator and publisher of many Buddhist books. Donald's book was more like a textbook, but he provided commentary from both a geographical and historical aspect. Specifically, he presented the Lotus Sutra from the early Buddhism in India through to China, and also focused on Nichiren's interpretation in Japan. My best way of describing my learning experience during these readings at the same time as being multi-dimensionally immersed in the sutra, from the literal translation to cultural, historical, geographical background and perspective to Buddhist teachings. It was a lot, I have to say, but very rewarding because it helped me connect the dots. In 2022, we decided it was time to tackle the Heart Sutra. While we usually only read one book at a time, for this sutra we decided that we wanted to read from two different teachers. The first book is The Other Shore, a new translation of the Heart Sutra with commentaries by Thich Nhat Hanh. The second book is There Is No Suffering, a commentary on the Heart Sutra by Chan Master Sheng. By this time, we've already read books by both these teachers, so we knew generally their deliveries are different. So we thought it could be really helpful to learn this important sutra from both teachers. Thich Nhat Hanh is a Vietnamese Zen teacher and founder of Plum Village, with his headquarters in France. Master Sheng is a Chinese Zen or Chan teacher and founder of Dharma Drum Mountain Buddhist Association, based out of Taiwan. Both of these teachers, to the best of my knowledge, are both Rinzai and Soto lineage holders. I'm using Rinzai and Soto, Japanese nomenclature here, because I think people in the West likely recognize them more easily. I think just about every Western Buddhist knows who Thich Nhat is. I feel that Master Sheng, on the other hand, is more well known in the Buddhist circles. So I'm certain someone is going to say what I'm about to say is hogwash. But here's my take. For the Heart Sutra commentaries by Thich Nhat, I feel that it's catered to a wider audience, helping people to conceptually understand Buddhism more. Master Sheng's, I feel the teaching is more catered to seasoned practitioners, going down to the nitty-gritty of spiritual development. Because as many of you likely know, Zen emphasizes on the experience. If I were to describe this in terms of watching a movie, I would say Thich Nhat Hanh's camera is shooting the wide and the medium shots, and Master Sheng's will be shooting the medium and the close-up shots. So I think all the book club members benefited greatly by reading both these texts, as they offer a fuller, more comprehensive picture. Of course, I met people who are really into Heart Sutra, and they've read scores of translations and commentaries. But for our group, we only read these two. The third sutra is the Platform Sutra, which we are currently reading. FYI, it is a Zen or Chan sutra. As of the making of this video, we read over 50%, so I feel I have gotten some relevant information or thoughts to share. This is more of an accidental situation where we ended up reading two different books. I selected the translation commentary by Venerable Master Hsuan titled The Sixth Patriarch Dharma Jewel Platform Sutra, with the commentary. He's the founder of City of 10,000 Buddhas, a Buddhist temple organization in California, and he's also pretty famous, especially in the Buddhist circles. When one of the main book club friends tried to purchase his book, the wait was like weeks. So she bought the translation commentary by Red Pine titled The Platform Sutra, The Zen Teachings of Hui Nun. Red Pine is a prolific translator of Chinese religious text and poetry. So we thought this could work. But in Master Shenghua's commentary, it's like listening to a Buddhist teacher in a Dharma talk, where he's providing Buddhist teachings, giving anecdotal examples about his students, emphasizing on the shortfalls of our current society, or even talking about things outside of the mundane. Red Pine's commentary provides teachings in Buddhism while also giving the background of the society plus historical context. But interestingly, we learned that there are multiple versions of the Platform Sutra, and that the version Red Pine is using is different from the version used by Master Shenghua. Red Pine is using the version from Donghuang Caves, where they discover all these texts. So there are differences such as in certain interpretation of the events, some of the order of the sutra, etc. An example is when Huineng was given the robe and bowl to become the sixth patriarch. The fifth patriarch told him, "You better run because not all the disciples may be happy about this, so you could be in danger." The sixth patriarch ran, but one of the monastics, I think his name is Huiming, he was an ex-military guy, so he caught up with the sixth patriarch. The sixth patriarch dropped the robe and bowl on the side, and in Master Shenghua's version, the items were magically too heavy to be lifted, and Huiming states that he just wants the Dharma then. But in the Red Pine version, Huiming was offered the robe and bowl, but he just says, "I only want the Dharma." So we can see there's a difference in interpreting the sutra. So for this example, while I'm learning about Buddhist teachings, I'm also learning about the different versions of the interpretations and the possible reasons for the differences. Thus, I'm gaining some insight into the developments of Chan or Zen Buddhism in historical China. I learned immensely from all these Buddhist texts, but my comments in this video are very short. I really just wanted to provide some color to my learning experience, and maybe that could help you decide if you wanted to read multiple texts at the same time. So in summary, I feel that even though I don't often read multiple versions of the same sutra at once, when I do, I find that they are very rewarding, often in ways I didn't expect, such as learning about different versions of the Platform Sutra. Would I recommend this to others? Yes. But this really depends on how much time you have. Also, how deep you want to dig. In today's world, time is so limited. Hope you found some of what I presented here helpful. Thank you for watching.